at the Aussie. Okay. I'm going to skip the ones that are not straightforward that I would have traded, but I'll look for the straightforward ones, eh?
Yeah, no worries.
Okay. Euro Aussie is a straightforward one in my mind.
Okay.
At the 11:30 bar,
Right.
we had a signal at the 10:45. We didn't get the retrace that we wanted, but we can obviously see a top with prices there.
Yes.
If I zoom in a little, okay, it's not a real solid entry, but you could have taken this bar here from this signal, or this bar here from this signal.
Right.
Now it's actually not a real, it's not as straightforward as it could be. So
Yeah, so walk us through the trade there.
through the trade there, we don't have anywhere to go, so it's fairly new territory. Okay. So our targets are going to be close just here. So we want to close from once they get entered, which we've got anyway.
Yep.
So we're probably looking at 18 pips or so, and we either decide to close that because we're after a 10 pip target,
Sure.
or we hang in there, and we hang in there probably because of the way the bar closed. That bar closed with no tail, so there's going to be more movement down.
Yep.
So in that instance, I would wait one more bar. You'd see the bottoms of your MACDs are starting to build back down again.
Yep.
There's that close there. So that's sort of, it's not strong, but you can see that the bottom of this histogram is now the lowest of the day.
Yep.
So you're going to hang in it, see what the next one looks like. Next one looks pretty good, so you can stay in your trade again, bring a stop loss down to just above this bar, say. So any quick move, you're going to be out.
Yep.
And it's more than your expected move anyway. Next bar closes again with building to the south histogram. Move your stop down on top of this one here. Looking at 27 pips or so. So that's a pretty good trade.
Yeah.
And same thing again, just even though this price is sort of retracing up a little bit, the strength of these histograms is looking definitely like it's going to continue.
Yeah.
We've got, so we're now getting lower in our histograms than yesterday as well.
That's right.
Tells you a lot what's going on there. So at this point we would have a stop sitting here, you know, just a couple of pips above that bar.
Yep.
And let it play out now. Go and take another trade. Even though the one trade at a time thing would apply, that's in positive now, it's never going to be negative.
Yep.
So you might as well take another one.
Okay. On to the next one.
Pound Aussie, nothing there. Euro yen, well, too hard to call, even though there's a trade there. Here's easy trades. This is easy as so far.
Yep.
Signal there. And if you've come to your New York session, London session, you've obviously seen this tailed bar here. Price drop quick down there. MACD's really starting to build.
Yep.
Certainly at your signal bar. Look how strong the MACDs look, even though price went back up. Look what the MACDs did.
Right.
So you could have taken that bar there.
So you got your green mark there, and then you just wait.
There's your signal to go looking for a trade.
Yep.
Obviously, ideal entry is back
Against that top channel.
at that. Yeah, there's the price channel just through there
Yep.
that you would have expected price. It didn't quite make it, but I mean, I would have been happy to take an entry once it broke back into that, about that bar there.
Yep.
You've got a good target. You've got an 18 pip target to where the closes are, and you've got about 20 pips to the bottom. Obviously, you're going to look at the bottom there and go, okay, this area here met a fair resistance for 45 minutes, didn't go any lower, and then went back up. So that's the area you want to close under.
Yeah.
So if we wait, we don't get much going on, but look at the histograms, are still building down. Even though see how all these tops are still making the same height,
Yeah.
all the bars, but look what's going on here.
A lot more selling.
They're weakening down. They're dropping down, so even though the price go up there's not much, there's no volume in it. It's just a couple of orders up, then back down, orders back down. So most of the price activity is lower than this. That's why they're dropping down. If you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, entry of that bar there, our first target is either there or a close under there. We've got a close under there, and we don't really know the momentum at that time because we weren't around. If that was sluggish around there, you're going to be out of that trade already.
Yeah.
Probably 19 and 20 pips, but if it was moved down there pretty solidly and stayed down there, wait for the close, MACDs are in your favour. Next one, same thing. So you again got your stop, somewhere there,
Following it down.
which is your target area anyway.
Right.
So you locked in the trade you were after in the first place, and now it's all bonus.
Yep.
So that so far has been the easiest one to see. Okay. Now we had this signal here a while back, but it's too long ago. It's let that go altogether.
Okay.
EuroCAD. MACD is just giving you no hints. Look how flat it is.
Yeah.
Let it go. There's another nice, simple, easy trade. So signal. So this is obviously a bit of euro sell-off anyway. So you would have had a pick of a euro trade here. Signal that bar.
Yep.
And this is even better MACDs than the last one we looked at,
Yeah.
because they're all been going down, dropping down. Even that bar there, they're still dropped. They've still got bigger to the downside.
Yeah, but that price is going up.
So you know the price is going up. You know that momentum is in the selling.
Yep.
So either you're impatient and don't wait for your trade, but there's your most likely area that's going to come back to,
Yeah, sure.
because that's where there's going to be orders sitting there. So they're going to come and pick these orders up. So you could have waited, half an hour, 45 minutes, give you a better target, give you a 25 pip target.
Yep.
Now there's a different one where you either decide that weakening MACDs, so that they didn't build once you got your entry,
Yeah.
but you're still obviously going to stay in your trade. You're expecting this target, but you've got a tail on this bar here the same as this. So see the relevance of where the bars are closed? Closed almost exactly the same.
Yep.
So I would have got out of that trade right at that bar close.
Seems to be respecting that level.
You're expecting that level to reject it, You could be right, you could be wrong, but it's about planning and where to go for,
Yeah. That was a few more cups today.
And looking at it's 22 pips, looking at what it did when it got there, That's the point. You could have stayed in there and looked at some other euros to see what's going on, but you planned that all out and it did exactly what you wanted it to do, is the point.
Yeah. Oh, well, we're up over 60 pips so far.
Yeah. Euro cat, a pound cat, sorry. See, look, you can't do anything here, there's nothing going on. And we didn't get a signal. We did get a signal, sorry. That close up in there. These ones are a little bit harder to trade because you see the signal, you see you got your price up in there, you're really after a price further up, and straight away it goes back down.
Yeah, right.
So that's a little bit tough to get. We haven't had any signals here, we've had our price back here. So at that point, you don't really know where the strength is. To me, looking here, I'd think, yeah, this could be going up, who knows?
Yeah.
So you just walk, let it go.
Yeah. To the next one.
Next one. I probably would have sold this, but it's not clear, it's not strong.
Yeah, it wasn't much in the MACDs.
But let's not do that. No. That's taken too long for me to get in there. That's taken over an hour.
Yeah.
And 15 minutes later it shows you that they're not going to sell it back off again.
Right.
You still had, 12 bits movement and probably while you're learning it, that would have been a loser as a winning. Once you get used to it, you take that and win with that. You take 10 pips and go home.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't. That's just that doesn't need to be risky. You know what I mean?
No. No, there's enough gains.
And here, yeah. Euro US. That's straightforward there. We did eventually get our entry there, where we wanted, where you expected it to be. Right through there.
A nice level, yeah.
Yep, break that level. It'll come back and pick up the orders that are sitting there. 23 pips to the obvious turnaround point. We get our close straight back there again, and look what happens straight away.
Yeah.
So you can see that there's a
pattern.
really obvious, and it's doing what you think it's going to do. You think it's going to come back to an area it broke before, then go back to an area it stalled it before. No more interest up here, no more interest under here. So, easy. This is actually a better trade because you got your entry, you got your trigger there,
Okay.
and it doesn't move as far. That's the only problem, eh?
Right.
So you still had 15 pips, which is still a fine trade. A little bit dodgy in the MACDs when it starts poking its nose up into your target area, so you might not have stayed in it, you know what I mean? Your entry there is flattening right out across the top here.
Yeah.
And it's keeling over back here, so ignoring these bars here, God, it's going off. Ignoring what's happening here, you should not have, you're probably out of that one.
Yeah.
10 pips.
That's not a loser though, is it?
No, and you wouldn't trade both of them together anyway.
No.
Euro. Now the Euro Swissy actually gave some good signals as soon as it opened, as soon as London opened. Just before we had a punch up into today's high, close back under, give us our signal, and we got our entry straight back on the other side. Same thing again. It's not a big mover, but there's probably where you would have thought about what's going on. MACDs haven't built.
Right, yeah, it's all even.
It's closed up there. So you sort of think, you either lock in some profit or you just get out of it and be happy that, that's where you sort of thought it was going to go.
Yep.
Put it in the bank and move on. Pound Swissy. Now this one can really get you if you don't learn to read it, because it will turn hard and fast. So let's go through here where we would have got a type 1 trade that turned into a type 2 signal this far. We've got our entry back at where we expected here. See right there?
Yep.
So there's your obvious target, and if you extend that across, you'll see this is a fairly obvious point. Early in the day, later in the day, they weren't sure when they got there, but so we got our entry there. Then our next bar, we get our close above it, and MACDs have retreated, histograms have retreated on the other side of the red line, the moving average. So you're out of that. You should have had a loss of 3-4 pips there and reversed that trade.
Yep.
And right now you should be expecting it to go to there, maybe there, or happy with you've got your loss back
Us.
and you've got a profit. And it's also one thing to observe that this session opened with rejecting this price. See the green line? That's the London session.
Yep.
For 45 minutes they couldn't get it past that. Okay, then they sold it off, obviously because liquidity built up for them. And right now it's struggling to go further again. So for me, I'm going to go, what's going to happen when it gets there? It's going to hesitate. You know, you've got a bit of leeway to wait and see what it does, but I'm not going to let it go anywhere less than 10 pips and I'm out.
Yeah.
Because I've got to consider my loss there now, so I'm only 3 pips net. So I'm only looking at 7. I'm more than inclined to go, okay, I'm up 15 pips when it hits there, I'm out.
That's good. So how did you get your reverse there?
Your MACDs.
Jump right over the other side?
They jump right on the other side of the line. And that's the only reason why. You could have actually even waited one more bar. Your loss is a little bit bigger. Your loss is, 12. But at this point here, you haven't made it back, and you've got to hang in a bit further. You can read that there because that's the lowest histograms in the last 3.
Yeah.
At least on both of them. And you can. It's obvious that it's turned around. It's obvious that what they're doing there is picking up price, picking up the orders that are all sitting up here.
Right.
They probably will break this level, but what you can be sure of is it's stopping at that level.
Yeah. Yeah, think about it.
That's the point. Yeah, to me it looks like it'll probably get to here and it'll hang, obviously going to hang up here for a bit because there's nothing up there.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to buy it up all day. They're trying to buy it up to this level and they couldn't. So that will, there's a whole heap of liquidity built way up, sort of up here. And they'll get to this price and then the next price are going to be up here and they might decide to take all those. So you could have sort of stalling and then rejecting, or you could have stall a little bit and then go bang up to this level. You don't know.
Yeah. Good guess.
But what you do know is that you've made your money back and got to bank a little bit.
It's always good.
Okay, Kiwi. Kiwi's giving us a nice signal. We've got a nice build of MACD. Got a signal this bar here. Second bar of London opening. Target of 15 to the closes.
Yep.
18 to the peak. That's straightforward, that one.
Yeah. Good trade.
Got your close above there. The only thing is you've got to look at where you might have had See, this one came back and it bounced off that stop there. See the tops of those bars?
Yep.
That were your target. Once price broke it, it came back to those.
Right.
So, but for me, I'm happy to do this. You know, that's a 20-pip move. That's fine. It's good for the day. If you look at what you've already got, you've been exposed to.
Yeah.
It's probably, I don't know what, 120 pips, 130, something like that
Not
maybe.
bad for the start of a session, eh?
Yeah, and for me, you would learn later on that signal there, you'd be looking for that. See these tops through here?
Yep.
If I get another signal and price comes back to that level, which it does there, I'll go again. But you haven't got a big target. That's the only thing. This doesn't really give. If it had gone further, you might. But for me, I would have taken that anyway.
Yep.
But as you get used to it, you take those trades. So you're looking at like, and you know, there's a 30-pip move. You pull 20 out of that one, 14 out of that at least. So you take more out of it than it's moved.
Right, and that's what the phase trade is all about, isn't it?
That's the objective. Once you learn to read it properly. Okay, let's have a look at the. This is an even better. This is the New Zealand trade. Don't forget, this is not a Euro trade. So you got your signal, and it's been all day. You've come to the chart. You see they're just selling this off all day. Have been for 2 days.
Yep.
So if you get a signal where you just before London opened, so you're obviously going to be here.
Of course.
And there's your perfect signal. Bang, straight away. And the good thing about this is it moves fairly big because liquidity is thin on these currencies. So,
Right.
you know, it will move 640 pips so far.
It's a pretty good move.
But it moved yesterday. You know, it's nothing for this to move 150, 100, 200 a day. And it's because it's liquidity thin. You know, they've got to move it a long way to pick up orders.
Right.
You know, it's not like the euro where there's a whole concentration of prices. It's spread out. That's why they've got to take it up.
Yep.
So you would have wanted that bar to close, which is perfect. Closed well underneath your expected move. Closed with no tail. You know, at that point there, you're looking at 48 pip move. 50 pip move in 2 bars,
It's not bad, eh?
and yeah, that's good. And your MACD is as strong as, look how big the difference is between that one and this one.
Yeah. It's signaling further downward movement, isn't it?
They're really, really building. So with some of the moves so good like that, you can easily stay in this, bring your stop down to there just as then just trail it down. Just go to the top of each bar. You just pip or so above the top of each one of these, and you don't get out of this trade till there. 61. You might have been happy you get a spike down this far. It's looking at 70, 75. That's damn fine if you're really chasing, 15, 20 pip moves.
Yeah.
You could look at the histograms and not have a stop loss other than just sitting up here somewhere just to protect your original, your original target.
Yep.
And just go with the histograms. It's only now that it's on the bottom here is it's starting to show a little bit of weakness.
Yeah.
So the closer to this bar, all the tops, all the highs, it's just building down, 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 down. So this probably has potential to, what do we do now? That's 90 pips. It has moved since your entry, 90 pips. Where are we looking for? God, it's got to go a long way back to be at this price again. No, you'd have to just ride with it and maybe lock in some mojo. For swings, obviously there's a swing point here, this bar here, so maybe at this point if you decide to stay, you just got to stop above that line there.
Yep.
You got another swing setting up here. So if this bar closes in your favour, which it looks like it's going to, bring your stops just down to the top of that bar there. And you're still locking in 70 pip trade.
Yeah.
That's good going.
All cream on
It's
top.
probably looking at a couple hundred pips so far out of this if you had been trading all the sessions, trading all the trades. Pound New Zealand has just given you a signal now, but look what's going on with the MACDs.
Yeah. Reached the bottom.
It's not, you know, it is starting to swing up, so, you know, this can easily put you in trouble pretty quick. It can be up here in no time, 30, 40 pips away, and you're going to go, oh, what should I do?
Yeah.
This will give clear signals when it's working fine, like over here. You got a nice MACD that's still building, see, and this one here, that signal there,
Yep.
entry there. You know, 25 pip target anyway, and it ends up going 78 pips.
Pretty good move, pretty clear.
This is all, when you look at the other New Zealand trades, it is building. So this probably will turn out right and end up coming down to here, but it's not as safe as the euro was, and it's not as obvious as these ones were.
And seeing as how you've got the rest of the trades behind you, there's no need to take the risk, is there?
Yeah, and you're trading these. You know, if you're looking at a New Zealand trade, you're looking at a basket of what are the New Zealand currencies. So one of those will give you a trade on the New Zealand, and what's going on there is they're putting money into the New Zealand dollar, and these are the ones that suffer as a consequence. And same with the Aussie. You know, you're not going to take 3 trades in your early stages of trading the system on the Aussie, you know, and its derivatives, because it's just risk.
Yeah.
Once you get good at it, you will understand that you can safely take 3 trades at once on that.
Yep.
Because you've read the market right. You know, as I say, this will work out, this one. But, you know, at this point now, it's sitting at 18 pips up now, if you had taken the trade.
Yeah.
So, and you can clearly see that these MACDs are not as obvious as they were in that one.
No. That's a pretty obvious one there, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty obvious. I look at the Aussie Singapore a little bit. It doesn't move much, but it can be quite steady and predictable. But the MACDs are all over the shop today, so
Leave that one.
leave it alone. CAD Swiss. Now I looked at this. I think is that. Can you hear all those alerts?
No, they didn't come through.
No? Oh, okay. Well, I'm getting alerts at my end.
Okay. Yeah, must not have come through. Speakers.
All right. So this is one I looked at today, and I don't often trade this one here. Again, because it's doesn't move a real lot. But I observed it and had considered it. You know, had an obvious target area.
Yep.
Reasonably good MACDs. Yeah, 10 pip target. That's what I mean. It's only a 10 pip target to the top.
Yeah. It's a bit of fish out there.
You got your close. Yeah, you got your close above it, and you had a next obvious target up here, which is that right now. Looks like it might hang in there, might reject that. Who knows? New territory for the last few days.
Yep.
Yeah, you know, I don't often trade this unless it's a really obvious or there's a big move on the Swissy or something, and you get a good entry.
Yep.
But there's probably been, what, 7 or 8 trades so far?
Yeah. And
I haven't counted them up, but it's a couple hundred pips easily. Had you been able to trade them all, of course you're not going to try and trade them all as you're learning. You're going to pick a, like you might pick, you get the yen signal, then you can look for all across your yens. You might get an Aussie, so you can look across your Aussies.
Yeah.
As regards to the US, well then the pound, euro and the US Swiss are your ones you bunch together. You might get a Swiss move where you're going to get the euro, pound or the Canadian. So you're packaging up the majors against their derivatives.
Of course.
And then looking for the one that's going to give you a signal.
Yeah, no, that looks good.
Cool.
Okay, we'll wrap that session up for the day then, and we'll get this video out to our WorldFX members, and they can have a bit of a watch over. And
Cool.
I'll catch you online, Rob.
Okay, mate.
Okay.
See you, dude.
See ya.